Okay, so I'm going to give you a little better walkthrough now that I've kind of done some reorganizing on the app. Uh, so it's a PWA. You go to the website, you sign up, you log in. You can download it for your desktop or your cell phone. Um, it'll work pretty well there. So I'm just going to give you a better run through now that everything's a little cleaned up. This is the dashboard. This is what you're going to see when you first log in. You've got your weather for the day with all the readings, wind speed, gust, wind direction, soil moisture, daylight hours, ET, all that good stuff. And then you're going to have a 7-day forecast right below it. Now, below that, I've got a growth potential model that I built. This is going to be kind of a nice way to know where you're at that day. So if you look here, it tells me I'm in winter right now. My next progression would be spring, and that's going to be based off of my grass type, and tells me that I'm about 1/3 the way to making it to spring, based off of GDD. And it'll do that for your greens, your rough, your fairway, and your tees. I know some courses have a lot of the same grasses, smaller courses that is. But yeah, up here you're going to have active crew, your task completed, maintenance alerts, and any open issues. So over here in the sidebar menu, we're going to go to plan. The first thing up is going to be our greens modules. So whenever I click greens, we have a management, surface planer action log. We'll go to management real quick. First and foremost, I'm going to let you know that you can turn the recommendations off here if you want. Some people don't want to be told what to do, and that's fine. I don't either. I just put them here for people that are trying to speed up or try something new. So I'll turn those on so you can see what they do. You can do a daily play, member event, tournament for target profile. If you take firmness readings, it'll be in here. You stamp VWC and your GDD. The recommendations here will be rolling guidance, verticutting guidance, surface guidance in general. You're going to have an ET calculator, soil moisture and rolling deficit. Down below, there's a greens marking tool. So we're going to move on to the surface planer for the greens. So you'll put in your species and everything else in the settings. It'll pull it up here. It'll know through your equipment. If you have a roller, top dresser, you'll answer all those questions. And then it'll help you build plans based off of that information. So your strategy strip here is based off your weather forecast, things like that. So right now it's on Wednesday when I'm recording this. If I click tomorrow, it'll change it. It'll give you confidence percentage, things like that. If you accept it, it'll put it in the task. Down here, it's going to show me my strategy plan. It's going to tell me where I'm currently at. It's winter, so I'm not really doing anything. And then it'll tell me my next key event is aeration. It'll build you out plans for the year. Now, below that is the green nutrition planner. So you can select a goal if you want to be hold firm, so you can get ready for a nice members only or some kind of tournament. You can maintain it or hold it, and then you can maintain if everything's good. If you want to push it, or get some recovery, but it'll change the plan based off of that. You can copy this plan, print it off, whatever you want to do. You can toggle PGR on and off, and you just select the amount of days a week you can spray. Down here, it'll tell you week 1 and week 2. It's just going to give you a recommendation, this baseline. It'll tell you your strategy and everything else. So the next thing here in the greens module is the action log. You can do this. It's a great thing because this system is a closed data loop. The more you give it, the more you'll have later, and the smarter it gets. And no, it's not AI. It is a decision engine. It just uses the information and helps you utilize it down the road. So you can tell it what you've done, when you've done it, why you've done it, and it'll save that information. So moving on to the next thing, the decision support module here is for all surfaces. It'll show your grass types, It'll tell you your forecast. You can do a 7-day if you'd like. I'll do a 7-day or 14-day here. And it's going to total everything for your surfaces. It'll have your GDD. So like if I click on, let's go with this one, the third, it's going to give me an idea where I'm at. And then you go down below it, you can also do your spray applications. So if you want to plan for pesticides or something else, really anything, you can select your target through this drop down. There's quite a few. They're not all in here, but you can select them and it'll help you figure out what you need to do. You can do curative or preventative, and you select your surface, your greens or whatever, and then you just follow the recommendations and it'll point you to where you need to be. So the next thing is going to be calculators. These are just nice tools to have. Some of these tools are nuked versions of these bigger modules. So if you don't feel like using those recommendations and you just want tools to do what you want to do when you want to do it, it's here. So you can do the spray applications. You select your surface once again, put your grass type, your tank size, your volume rate, and you select whatever it is you're wanting to do, and you calculate. It'll tell you all you need. Aerification top dressing calculator. I've, as a contractor, I've done a lot of top dressing, a lot of aerification. I've probably poked more holes in greens than most people want to know about. And this is a tool that I put together for myself, and I use it frequently, but it's a good one for you guys. So say if I'm going to do my greens, I'm going to say my core length is going to be 1.5 inches, and I'm only doing one pass. I'm just going to use spec sand. We're going to hit calculate sand needed. It's going to tell me the volume. Remember, I only have 43,524 square feet, just right at an acre. And it'll tell me how much sand I need. Grass seed calculator, pretty simple, but it's nice to have for fast. Then the surface area impact, another thing I use as a contractor. And for consulting, I like to be around 20% for most. So I can go through and just say this is my standard, and this is what I do normally. It's going to tell me that my aerification that I did only got me just under 5%. So I would need to do something of this value 4 times or 5 times a year, 4 times a year ideally. So that would give you 2 aerification events, and then say you're going to vent twice. So that would get you to your 20. You don't have to go that far, obviously, but it's a good thing to do. So the growth potential tracker here is pretty simple. It's just a broad thing to kind of give you an idea. Your cool season grasses are probably 24% of the way to growing. Warm season obviously is going to be different. So it's just a nice little quick tool. And then a granular product calculator. So moving on from the plan to the operate. So morning board here, it's going to have your today's weather. It's going to have today's task. You can put in your priorities and any alerts and notes. These things are all going to show up in the employee kiosk. All right, so then we're going to move on to the task. You can do mowing rotation. It'll generate you a 7-day plan based on the mowing, last mowing direction you had. That way you don't run into any issues. You can do this for your fairways. Nice thing about the fairways and tees, there's also a configuration. So you can pick, mowing patterns, things like that. It'll give you a weekly plan based on how many mows per week you can give it. So task routines, you can bundle a new routine. You can, build a new one, and you can auto-generate. So you don't have to waste time every day. So if you know you're going to cut greens 7 days a week, you can put it on there. If you know you're going to check the trash 7 days a week, you can put it on there. And you can actually start to build time for labor, man hours for each event. And you'll know approximately how many guys you need. So You can turn these, if you don't want to mow on Sunday, you can turn that off, and then you auto schedule. It's pretty simple, and that'll all go here to your daily task. They'll show up here. These are both on here because I didn't do anything today or yesterday. Irrigation, this one's pretty simple. It doesn't integrate with any other systems. It's just going to help you track issues and log history repair. So it can tell you your total repair cost, your labor hours, downtime, all that stuff. You can put zones in. That way you can track where the repairs are happening and figure out what's needing improvements. And you can also log runs as well. But the open irrigation issues, say one of your employees is out mowing greens and he sees a head that's leaking real bad, he can put it in the kiosk. It'll populate here and in your inbox. So the next thing we're going to move to is the equipment. So I didn't build this to be like John Deere. You add your equipment. Everything's going to have a QR code. You can track fuel usage and hours, repairs, and maintenance. That way you can track everything cost-wise. So the next thing is going to be the kiosk. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like whenever someone's in the kiosk. So first and foremost, when you open your kiosk, you're going to see this. Your guy's going to go in here and enter his PIN. All right, so now I just clocked in. It showed up instantly. So now if I'm going in here and I want to, let's see here, I want to log an issue. So I'm just going to make a good one. Okay, so now I just had that. That's how fast that happens. So right now I'm clocked in. It's tracking my labor hours, everything. And now clocked out. So this makes it easy for your guys to check in equipment. You don't have to go through notebooks stashed away somewhere. Everything can be done through this. So whenever they check in or finish a task, there's going to be information they have to give, fuel used, issues, hours on the machine. So now we're going to move on to the Protect. So Protect has got the IPM module in it. So observations here are going to come from your scouting inside your kiosk. So you can keep everything logged here. You've got scouting log. You can do treatments and reports. All that stuff here can be exported. And as you saw for labor, it'll actually accumulate your hours and you can put in their hourly rate and kind of build your payroll. It helps you track the labor cost more than it does anything. This isn't a payroll solution, but it certainly can help you guys that don't have those. The big thing it helps you do is track labor cost per task. There's capital projects you can put in here too for the labor. Big thing is this. The analytics side is where all the magic happens. So it's a closed data loop. Everything you put in, everything that's put in by your employees is in a closed data loop. It gives it to you. So it's going to tell me today, cost me 31 cents for the labor. It'll do it by labor efficiency, cost by area, all that stuff. It'll even tell you the most expensive task you have. For you guys to have to deal with boards, you can do an automatic print board report. It's going to tell you your labor cost, your inventory, your equipment by surface. For you guys that like to kind of know where you're at for the week, the superintendent summary works great. You can export this PDF and print it off as well. Personally, I like having this. It tells me where I'm at, what I did, how it turned out. And again, for decision log, so I can go through here, you can see where I put one in here. Rationale was prevent stress. I can take notes, and it's going to use that information for me later. Operational impacts becoming a bigger thing in the industry, so this is going to be able to help you if you input your water usage. It can go here. Your fuel is going to be tracked for your equipment. Your labor hours is going to be tracked, and your chemicals can be tracked. This is going to tell you where you're spending money, and it's also going to tell you what you're using and your impact on the environment. So also, there's a budget tool. It is a live budget. So mine started at 78,000. I had that guy clocked in for 45 seconds, and it's running a live total. So anytime you log a spray through the sprayer or the spray builder, it'll deduct from your inventory, and if you have the price on your jug, it will break it down by how much you used and deduct that from your budget. As for inventory, pretty easy. Put the product name, you can put the category, chemical, equipment, all this stuff. You can attach SDS and labels. That way we don't have to worry about the guy tore it off and I don't know where it is. But you're going to have a QR generator. So that'll attach to your equipment, and you'll have the kiosk menu QR generator. So you can print this off and laminate it and give it to your guys. They can clock in and clock out doing that with their personalized pin. Big thing is if you guys are coming from Excel and other spreadsheets, you can import your old data and start using it today. It may not get all of it, but if it gets 60% of it, that's 60% more than you had when you started. So you would upload it here, follow the process along, and this thing will put the data where it needs to be for the most part. Now, the settings were a lot of times going to be spent when you first start, and I cannot tell you the importance of this. Everything here is important. Make sure you get your course settings as good as you can get it. Your course location, your labor rates, you can change those. It only goes on hourly, so I'm sorry about the salary, guys. You can add crew members and give them their PIN number. Your bunkers, you can do cup zones per green. You can add a fuel tank with the quantity, how much the fuel cost. Greens performance targets are a big one. And then you can do your green surface planner stuff. So like answer all these questions. You can go here and change that from conservative to everything else, and you click save. Up here is a notification bar. Pretty simple. But this GreenCalcOS, this is made by a superintendent for superintendents. I got tired of writing things down on paper, losing the paper, spilling coffee on the paper, and trying to remember everything on the fly. I can use this on my phone, I can use it on my desktop, wherever I need it. So thanks for checking it out. If you're curious about the GreenCalcOS, you can find me as Course Junkie on Instagram, or you can email me at coursejunkie.greencalc@gmail.com with any questions. It is open right now. I'm running a promotion,